But I think because we're always striving to improve ourselves, that we should never stagnate, that we can always up it another step, that because we all make mistakes. So I would hope that we learn from our mistakes so that we actually can do better. But I think it's that small town mentality, even though we're a fairly big city, that we're part of that.
If you were to describe yourself, what would be the most important thing that I would need to know about you?
I think that I'm open and approachable. I am certainly a stubborn Irishman. I have my mind, and sometimes it's fairly strong, but I'm always approachable enough to another suggestion so that it's not my way or no way. I like to look at the alternatives. I believe that I don't have all the answers. Not in anything I do, any part of me. I don't have all the answers. And I don't think anyone does. So I think that the more I can get out of other people, I grow so much by learning from other people and taking their opinions and working together. So that, I think, is really important to know, that I'm not someone that stands out alone. I wouldn't perceive to ever think that I could even do that. Very, very family oriented. I have 3 children, and I would do anything for my children and my husband.
Okay, this is my fun one. I love this one. Do you have a hero? And what qualities and values do you most admire about your hero?
I have to say I don't have one hero.
Okay.
I believe that people that we interact with, both from our history and current, that they all help to define. And so it's more characteristics of heroes. I mean, certainly Abraham Lincoln was way ahead of his time, and believed in peaceful resolutions, and really stuck to his ground. So certainly he's a hero. My parents, absolutely. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have the values and the drive to be a female that started out in a male job. I wouldn't have that drive without them. But even today, I think every day I run into people. Last night I was at a community meeting, and it was in a community of mostly older people. And there was one particular woman who was just a spitfire. And she was not going to stand up for crime in her neighborhood. And she rallied a bunch of people my age with families to get out and take action and be proactive to take your neighborhood back, and to certainly not harm yourself, but that opportunity to say, we can make a difference. She's a hero. To have that courage as an 80-something-year-old woman, and to have the drive to say, I can make a difference here, we're not allowing this, that's a hero. I think really when I look at it, a lot of the underdogs in the world, because they have this persistence, they have this drive, and sometimes it's really tough to follow what you believe is right, because you might be standing alone, you may be criticized for it, but if you truly are for the betterment of someone else, I really do, they're a hero, because they truly define not only who maybe I am because I'm better for meeting them, but truly who the community is, who the city, who the country is. So I think heroes, I hope that I meet so many more people that impact my life in such ways that make me a better person. So I think heroes are all around us. On the softer side, I don't know, we do a program every year that's called Shop with Cops. This is a program that in the Western District, which is where I work, that we put volunteer law enforcement officers paired with children of the neighborhood that don't have the opportunities to maybe learn the gift of giving and may not have the best relationship with officers. So we want to build a one-on-one relationship and teach them the art of giving. So we did that this year. This is my 3rd year that I've run it now, and we served 209 kids this year. So while very, very hectic and a little bit wild, great experience. But there was one child that this was the 2nd week in December on Saturday we did this. So very successful, I think, by all accounts. But the next Monday I was in work and I had a mother call me, and she had said that her son was signed up for the program, but he had had tonsillitis and had his tonsils out and he couldn't make it. And he was kind of disappointed, and family right in our Frogtown neighborhood, Dad was struggling. They didn't have much of a Christmas, and the boy was 6 years old and had a younger brother that was 2, and he was really looking forward to it. So I made arrangements. So I picked him up at his house, and he and I went shopping.
Oh!
And so we're just the 2 of us at Target, and we had a blast. But this 6-year-old was articulate and funny and smart, and he had his list because Mom needed purple slippers. So we had to get slippers, and then we decided we'd match pajamas. And very basics, nothing extravagant, but he needed basics that he was giving to his parents. Never asked for a gift for himself. Had to get this special toy for his brother. So when we're in the toy section, I said, you know what? I said, how about we get you a toy too? And he had the look just like, you know, I offered him the world. Really? So we picked him out a toy, and I said, you know, I said, we really need to get some gift wrap. And Mom said she'd help me wrap Dad's, and Dad said she'd help me wrap Mom's. And so this was the way, I mean, we spent about an hour together, and it was so why we're here. So I took him back home, and on the way home we were singing Christmas carols in the squad car because we had to pick our favorite, and we talked about building snowmen. And when I got there, Mom was grocery shopping and Dad was home, and thanked me for it, and he gave me a big hug. And that's absolutely why I still do what I do, is those reasons, is hopefully I made a difference in that young man's life. And if he ever needs something, he knows that he can trust to call, and we're there to help him to be a better adult. And he brought us, I'm sure he brought more joy to me than I ever could have brought to him. So certainly that is one of the days I will never forget. I'm a firm believer that I can train a person to write tickets and write reports and process a crime scene. Those are skill sets that as an officer we learn, but I think all the personality things, the compassions, the empathy, the forthrightness, those are things that we have to have inside before we get here. So those are the things that we need as officers. Those are the things that we should be looking for in our new recruits, that they've got that skill set. We certainly can further refine it, but there should be a basic making a difference, the human qualities, and then we can teach them the skills, and then that rounds them out. No other officers are busy, so it's just me. And he had made a comment that he said, if you weren't a darn woman, he said, I'd have punched you and knocked you down by now. I opened the back door and said, thank you, sir, would you get in my back seat? And sure enough, he did. So you use those that he had told me that, you know, his parents said you can't hit a woman. It's like, okay, thank you. And off we went. And, you know, and then when I got back up, then we took him out and patted him down and cuffed him. But I think you use those skills just differently. And we still come to the same resolve, but it's just a different set of tools. I think if we do a good job of training our women and our smaller statured men on what other tools you have, how are there other ways you can still get the job done, and then help them to develop those skills, plus your communication skills and all of that, I think we just bring another tool to the department to solve problems that I think is a huge benefit. So, but I think it's a growing process too, you know, just like in any job that when you're new, you're all gung-ho and you're going to do it, you're going to save the world. Well, as you get a little older, you think, I can't chase that 18-year-old down because he's going to win every time. So how could I do this better? So it's developing those skills and that knowledge base of how can I do a better job at what I do. And so I think we do a better job of that now. We've learned from the past, and I think we'll continue to grow and develop that. I also can tell you that when in a violent situation, when the shotgun goes, it has the same impact for everyone.